Welcome to class on quantum mechanics. Today we will discuss about time independent Schrodinger equation, particle in a box problem. These two things we will discuss today's class. First, time independent Schrodinger equation. The previous class we discussed about time dependent Schrodinger equation. The wave function psi of xt means it's a function of x or the space function and space parameter and the time parameter. So wave function psi of xt that denotes the quantum system contains all information regarding the system. So psi of xt is nothing other than the wave function itself. When the system is independent of time, means the wave function is independent of time, the general solution of waves equation can be written as the product of functions of spatial coordinate and functions of time. Suppose the system is independent of time, then the above said wave function can be regarded as can be written as the product of space part and the time part. So psi of xt is equal to psi of xt is equal to psi of x and t of t. And we know that the wave function psi of xt, that is a exponential or a exponential I by h rose into px minus e into t. This wave function can be split into two parts, that is a exponential I by h rose into px, this part, and again exponential minus I by h rose into capital E into t, which means that this is the time part and this is the space part. See, do you know how it comes? But we know that the mathematical relation a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. Here or e raised to exponential e raised to m into e raised to n is equal to e raised to m plus n. Here this parameter is minus, so what we get is a exponential I by h rose into px minus e into t. Okay, so the position probability density at every point in space is independent of, so we can say see the previous wave function is this is the space part itself, so this is a position wave function. So the position probability density at every point in space is independent of time. So position probability density is independent of time, which means that it is independent. Such states are called stationary state. That means if position probability density is independent of time, that state is called stationary state, and corresponding wave function is called stationary state solution or stationary state wave function, and the wave equation is called stationary state Schrodinger equation or time independent Schrodinger equation. That is, if the position probability density is independent of time, such state is called stationary state. Such wave function is called stationary state wave function, and the wave equation corresponding to that stationary state wave function is called time independent Schrodinger equation or stationary state Schrodinger equation. Okay, now we can start with the time independent Schrodinger equation. Time dependent Schrodinger equation. The time dependent Schrodinger equation is IH gross into dou psi by dou t, which is equal to minus h rho square by 2m into dou square psi of xt by dou x square plus v of r, that is potential, into psi of xt. And the potential is independent of time, and we can substitute the value of psi of xt here. So psi of xt is equal to psi of x and t of t. Okay, we can write IH gross into, instead of the psi of x, we can write psi of x into t of t, which here also minus h rho square by 2m into psi of x into t of t. Here also v of r into psi of x into t of t. So psi of xt is replaced with psi of x into t of t because these are independent. Now, see, look at this equation. Here dou by dou t of psi of x and t of t. So consider the left hand side. This psi of x is a position function only. The variable is position only. So derivative is dou by dou t. So dou by dou t of psi of x into t of t. This psi of x is a constant, so we can take this psi of x outside. So what we get is psi of x into IH gross into dou t of t by dou t. Here the psi of x is a constant because derivative is with respect to time. So psi of x is a constant, so we can take this one outside. So what we get is psi of x into IH rose into dou t of t by dou t. Then coming to the right hand side, see, dou square by dou x square. See, dou square by dou x square. So the derivative is with respect to space coordinate. So t of t is here is constant. So we can take this t of t outside. And just before we mentioned that the potential is independent of time. So this time parameter we can take outside. So what we get is psi of x into IH rho into dou t of t by dou t, which is equal to minus t of t into h rho square by 2m into dou square psi of x by dou x square plus t of t into v of r of psi of x. Okay, now we can divide psi of xt throughout this equation. So what we get? See, if you divide psi of x into t of t, here also psi of x into t of t, here also psi of x into t of t. So what happens is, one psi of x and this psi of x will get cancelled. So what we get is denominator there is t of t. So 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t, which is equal to minus, here also this t of t will get cancelled. So 1 by psi of x into minus h rho square by 2m into dou square psi of x by dou x square plus, again this t of t and this t of t will get cancelled. So 1 by psi of x into v of r into psi of x. Once again I would like to tell you, divide this equation with the psi of x and t of t. See, left hand side, this psi of x and this psi of x will get cancelled. So what we get is 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t. Right hand side is also, this t of t will get cancelled. So 1 by psi of x remains denominator. So psi of 1 minus 1 by psi of x into this parameter. And the second time also like that. Then left hand side is just similar to this one. See, 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t, which is equal to 1 by psi of x. We take both the term psi of x, 1 by psi of x is common. So we can take this 1 by psi of x outside. So 1 by psi of x into minus h rho square by 2m into dou square by dou x square of v of r of psi of x. So here this 1 by psi of x is taken outside and we combine these two times. Okay, so see, look at this equation, the previous 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t, which is equal to 1 by psi of x into minus h rho square by 2m into dou square by dou x square plus v of r into psi of x. See, look at this equation. The left hand side is a function of time only, right hand side is a function of x only. So these are the two parameters. One is a function of time, another one is function of x. We can equate this one provided we can equate these two or independently to a common constant. See, left hand side is a function of time only, right hand side is a function of x only. How can we equate these two equations? Because left hand side is another one parameter, right hand side is another parameter. We can equate provided both equated to a same value or same constant value. Here we can say the left hand side is a function of time alone, the right hand side is a function of x alone. These are independent variables and the equation would hold good if each side is equal to a constant. If each side is equal to a constant. If each side is equal to a constant, so we can equate this one to a constant capital E. So 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t, which is equal to capital E, and also this term is also capital E. Then only we can equate. So look at the, please take the first equation, first part, 1 by t of t into IH rho into dot t of t by dot t, which is equal to capital E. Okay, so we can move this IH rho to the right hand side. So what we get is minus I by H rho into capital E. Then t of t we can take to the this left hand side, right hand side, then we will get. Then we can take this dt to the right hand side and t of t to the left hand side. So what we get is, please listen, what we get is dt of t by capital T of t, which is equal to minus IH gross into E into dt. Once again I will repeat this T of t. Look at this equation. We can take this T of t to the left hand side and this small dt, take the full derivative, small dt to the right hand side. What we get is dt of t by t of t, which is equal to minus I by H rho into capital E into dt. Then we can take the integration. So what we get is, see, dt of t by t of t, just like integral of dx by x. dx by x, interval of dx by x is log x. Similarly, what we get is log t of t. So log t of t is equal to minus I by h gross into capital E into small t, because derivative of dt is equal to t itself. So what we get is log t of t is equal to minus I by h gross into capital E into small t. So we can neglect this log, or we can discard this log by taking the exponential. So the left hand side is t of t, which is equal to a constant times exponential minus I by h gross into capital E into t. So the solution of, or the time factor is t of t is equal to a constant exponential minus I by h gross into capital E into t. Okay. Now we can take the remaining part, 1 by psi of x into minus h rho by 2 dou square by dou x square plus v of r, or v of x into psi of x, basically capital E. This is second part. So we can take this psi to the right hand side. So what we get is minus h rho square by 2m into dou square by dou x square plus v of r into psi of x, which is equal to E into psi of x. Or we can say h psi of x is equal to E psi of x. This is nothing other than Schrodinger equation in the case of time independent. We can see that, see, minus h rho square by 2m into dou square by dou x square. This is the kinetic energy part. We already discussed it in the previous class. And this one is the potential energy part. So this is called total energy, which is called the Hamiltonian energy. In 3 dimension, this dou square psi or dou square by dou x square can be rewritten as dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square plus dou square by dou z square. That is called del square. So in 3 dimension, so minus h rho square by 2m into del square plus v of psi of x. Minus h rho square by 2m into del square plus v of psi of x. So what we get is capital E into psi of x. This is called the 3 dimension. Then we can easily rearrange this equation. You can take this v of psi of x to the right hand side. Again multiply with the 2m divided by h cross square. Then we will get this equation like this. Del square psi of r is equal to del square psi of r. Psi of r means it is a 3 dimension. So del square psi of r is equal to, del square psi of r plus 2m divided by h cross square into E minus v of r into psi of r is equal to 0. This is also another form of time independent Schrodinger equation. This is called the time independent Schrodinger equation, and the solution is psi of x t is equal to, this one is the position time and this one is the time. Okay, we can rearrange this equation. Then we will get del square psi of r plus 2m divided by h cross square into E minus v of r into psi of r, which is equal to 0. This is called the time independent Schrodinger equation. It's clear? See, in this part there is no time dependent parameter, time dependent variable. So the system is a system is described by wave function of the form psi of x t is equal to psi of x into, this is a position part, then this is time part, is said to be a stationary state. A system described by a wave function of the form. System is described by a wave function of this form is called stationary state. Why it is called stationary state? Because the name arises due to the reason that the quantity modulus of psi of x t square, that is called the probability density, isn't it? So this is called the probability density. So modulus of psi of x t square, which is equal to psi of x of square, is independent of time for these states, which means that the probability density is independent of time. Then such states are called stationary state. Stationary state means if the probability density is independent of time, such states are called stationary states. Okay. Or stationary state can therefore be defined as one for which the probability density is constant in time. Time dependent factor of these states are governed by the energy particle. In 3 dimension, the steady state form of Schrodinger equation is known as del square psi of r plus 2m divided by h cross square into E minus v of r into psi of r, which is equal to 0. This is called the time independent Schrodinger equation. Okay, this is called the time independent Schrodinger equation. The next part we will discuss about particle in a box problem. So in this problem, particle in a box problem, we will determine the possible energy values of a particle which is confined to a cubical box and the corresponding wave function, eigenwave function. Okay, so the particle in a box problem we will discuss the energy values of the particle which is confined to a cubical box and the corresponding wave functions. See, the box means it is three-dimensional, and just imagine that you are putting a particle inside a cubical box. For the simplicity, we just assume that, suppose as a starting point, we just assume that it's a one-dimensional situation. So this is the figure itself shows you this is a one-dimensional one, 0 to L. This is one side of the box. In three dimension, three directions are also there. Suppose this is a one dimension. In this one dimensional case, we will do the one dimensional case, then we can extend to the three dimension. Since it's a box, there are walls are there. So the particle is always within this box itself. The particle is within this box itself. So here the potential is 0, and at the two borders the potential is maximum. As I told you, the particle is always within this box. The outside box the particle is 0, which means that this wave function is 0. So see, psi of x is 0 outside the region, psi of x value is there inside the region. Inside the region potential is 0, outside the region potential is maximum. See there is a very high potential is there here and here. Okay, now you can write the time independent Schrodinger equation, that is in the case of what we call the one dimensional case, dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m dot by h cross square into E of psi is equal to 0. Here the potential is 0, so v parameter is 0. So the previous equation, look at this previous equation. Yeah, look at this equation. See, here the potential parameter is 0. Okay, so in one dimension case, dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m divided by h cross square into capital E into psi. Okay, and this 2m divided by h cross square into capital E, we denote this one as k square. So our equation becomes dou square psi by dou x square plus k square psi is equal to 0. Dou square psi by dou x square plus k square psi is equal to 0. This is just like a simple harmonic oscillator. This is just like simple harmonic oscillator. This is just like simple harmonic oscillator. Okay, so the general solution of the form this type of equation, simple harmonic equation, the general solution is of the form capital X is equal to a sin kx into x plus b cos kx into x, which means that capital X means the solution of the wave function or x component of the solution of the wave function. Please remember that this capital X means the x component of the Schrodinger equation, which means that, see, here the wave function is psi. Our solution is psi itself. Psi has three components: psi of x, y, and z. Here we are dealing with the one-dimensional case, and we assume that the solution is capital X. Okay, so it's called capital X. So the solution can be written as a sin kx into x plus b cos kx into x. Once again, I would like to repeat, because you may have confusion. The solution of the Schrodinger equation is psi itself, and here we are dealing with the x component or one dimension, so we write capital X instead of psi. For y component, if you are calculating y component, it's capital Y. If you are calculating z component, it's capital Z. And if you are calculating in three dimension, it is capital X, capital Y, capital Z, or simply we can say psi of x, y, z. Here x is equal to a sin kx into x plus b cos kx into x. Now we can apply the boundary conditions. Here, see, the particle is within this box, outside the box the particle is 0. So for the, suppose the box is having dimension of L, 0 to L. So at 0 the particle is 0. At L again the particle is 0. So because the particle is inside this box. So now at x is equal to 0, what happens? At x is equal to 0, particle is equal to 0, which means that this capital X is equal to 0 or wave function is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to a sin k suffix x into x, that is 0. Again b cos suffix x into again 0. So what we get is 0 is equal to sin 0. Sin kx into 0 means sin 0. Sin 0 is equal to 0 itself. So what we get is 0 is equal to 0 plus b, which means that capital B value is 0. Now we can modify our wave function as capital X is equal to a sin kx into x. So this is our refined wave function. Now we can apply the upper limit at x is equal to L. At x is equal to L also the particle is not there, which means that the wave function is not there. So again at x is equal to L, 0 is equal to A sin kx into L. See, A sin kx into L. In this case, there are two possibilities. Either capital A is equal to 0 or sin kx into L is equal to 0. Capital A cannot be 0 because if capital A is equal to 0, which means that the total wave function is 0. But we know that we are putting the particle, we already put the particle inside the box, because which means that particle is there itself. So there's a wave function. If A is equal to 0, this is not possible. So A cannot be 0. Then the next term is sin kx into L is equal to 0. Next term is this sin kx into L is equal to 0. This sin kx into L is equal to 0 means sin theta is equal to 0 for theta is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. In general, we can say n pi. So we can say kx into L is equal to n pi. See, A sin kx into L is equal to 0, which means that sin kx into L is equal to 0 or kx into L is equal to n pi. Or we can say k suffix is equal to n pi by L. K is equal to n pi by L. So this k is equal to n pi by L. See, this k is equal to n pi by L. So the allowed wave function psi n of x, the x component, that we denoted this one here as capital X. So psi n of x is equal to A sin n pi x by L. N pi x by L. N suffix x means the x component. That's all. The constant A is determined using the condition that the probability of finding the electron in the x direction is unity. We know that if you putting the particle inside the cubical box, it is there itself. If you integrate the probability from this lower limit to the upper limit, what happens? The total probability is always 1. The particle is inside the cubical box, the total probability is means which is equal to 1. So we can say if integral the total probability is integral psi star psi dx, that is equal to 1. This is normalization condition. The total probability is always 1. That means integral 0 to L. 0 to L means that is the dimension of the box. If we need to integrate from 0 to L only in one dimensional case. So psi star psi dx is equal to 1. Here psi star is a complex conjugate or modulus of psi square is enough. Here wave function is A sin n pi. Wave function is A sin n pi x by L. Here psi star is also this one and psi is also this one. Here what happens is A into A square is here. Then psi into sin square is here, which is equal to 1. And as per the trigonometric relation, sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta all divided by 2. I would like to repeat again. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So we can apply that trigonometric relation here. So sin square n pi x by L, we can write this one as 1 minus cos 2 n pi x by L all divided by 2. Okay, and this 2 can be taken outside, so what we get is a square by 2. Okay, a square by 2, then integral, you can write in your paper, then see integral 0 to L 1 minus cos 2 n pi x by L into dx. If you integrate, the first term is x itself, the second term is sin term. First term is x itself, second term is sin term. And if you apply the limit 0 to L to the second term, that vanishes because upper limit, what happens is this L and this L, the denominator there is 1L, and if you apply the value of x as L, this L and this L will get cancelled. So sin 2n pi, sin 2n pi means it's always 0. So upper limit is 0. The lower limit 0. X is equal to 0. If you apply here, what happens is again sin of term is 0. Listen here, it's the integral of 1 minus cos. So the integral of 1 dx is equal to x itself. Integral of cos term is equal to sin term. So by applying the limit, that goes to 0. So what we get is x. Or if you apply the limit x 0 to L for x, what happens is we get is L. Okay, so therefore what we get is a square by 2 into L, which is equal to 1. See, a square by 2 into L, which is equal to what? Or we can say A is equal to square root of 2 by L. A is equal to square root of 2 by L. So our wave function, normalized wave function becomes psi n of x is equal to square root of 2 by L into sin n pi x by L. This is the one-dimensional normalized wave equation for a particle confined to the cubical box. Now we can find the energy value. See, look at this equation. See, here we made a substitution that k square is equal to m e divided by h cross square. So here we can write capital E is equal to k square h cross square divided by 2m. Okay, so k square is equal to 2m e divided by h cross square. So capital E is equal to h cross square by 2m into k square. And we know that k is equal to n pi by l. K is equal to n pi by l. So E is equal to h cross square by 2m into n pi by l the whole square. Or we can say h rho square into pi square divided by 2 ml square into n square. Okay, in 3 dimension we can say this n square is equal to nx square plus ny square plus nz square. So the allowed energy value is equal to capital is equal to n square pi square h rho square by 2 ml square. N square pi square h rho square by 2 ml square. For n is equal to 1, there is one energy level. N is equal to n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4. These energy levels are discrete. And this energy expression shows or gives you the idea about the possible energy values that electron or a particle which is confined to the cubical box. Just before we discussed that this psi n of x is equal to square root of 2 by L into sin n pi or n suffix x pi x by L. This is one dimensional case. We can extend to the 3 dimension, which is nothing other than psi n of r is equal to, instead of x we can write r. This is equal to this first time x component time, again y component time, again z component time. Okay, the first term is x, y, z. So what we get is psi n of r is equal to 2 by L all raised to 3 by 2. See, 1 by 2 here, one root of 2 by L. Here also root of 2 by L. Here also root of 2 by L. So 2 by L all raised to 3 by 2 into sin n pi x by L, sin n pi y by L, sin n pi z by L. Okay. And so this figure shows the corresponding wave function for n is equal to 1. This is the wave function. N is equal to 2. This is the wave function. N is equal to 3. This is the wave function. N is equal to 4. This is the wave function. And the corresponding probability, that is modulus of psi square 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, and n is equal to 4. The wave function is psi n of r is equal to 2 by L all raised to 3 by 2 sin n pi x by L, sin n pi y by L, sin n pi z by L, and the possible energy values are n square pi square h rho square by 2 ml square. Okay, this is called the possible energy values of particle which is confined to the cubical box. Thank you.